All right, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday. Hope you're doing great. Hope the new moon was good to you. Uh, if you still haven't done your manifesting, the new moon is still going. The energy will go for a couple of days. So if you want to work on manifesting your heart's desires, Cancer, right? Plant the seeds for the future. Do it right now. Do it right now. Write some intentions in your journal or ask Spirit to step in and help you with something. Whatever you need to do, all right? Whatever you need to do. Let's see what the message is for this morning. All right, message for the collective, please. What needs to come through? What is going on with the collective? Okay, what's going on with the collective energy here? Change in the wind, 100%, right? Change in the wind, building blocks, and chop wood. All right, a little earthy here, which is great. I do feel this sense of surprise. Okay. Some of you feel like you know what's going to be happening, but I don't think you do. And it's not that your intuition isn't good. It might be interfered with a little bit by your ego expecting a certain experience, but that's not what's happening. And so that's what is bringing the surprise. It's like, oh, I thought I knew how this was going to go, but I don't think I do. And it doesn't mean your intuition is bad or anything like that. But when ego gets involved and you're like, yep, this is how it's going, then you can cut off your connection to spirit. So if you're having some big thing going on in your life, a conversation with somebody, a job interview, an experience that you are manifesting to go a certain way, what you can do is you can ask spirit about that, and you can say, okay, what am I really dealing with here? What is trying to come in that I'm not seeing? And I think that's what the reading will be about this morning. What's trying to come in that we're not seeing? And I feel like that's going to be a good preparation a little bit, because what's coming in is like the beginning of a new future, the first foundation being laid for the new future. And the chop wood. I kind of like this. This is very in the moment energy, sort of like chop wood, carry water. Just do the work that's in front of you. There's nothing else to do. You don't have to create anything or make anything happen. Just do what's in front of you. So that can be a thing. It's my mother used to say, "Don't borrow trouble." Okay, and just kind of take what people give you and be where the situation is. So instead of thinking it's over here, thinking we're doing this, but we're really doing this. If you're over here, you're not really experiencing this. So be more in the moment, more present is going to be very helpful. So no matter what you think, I think you might be surprised. All right. If your brain is like what you think, right? How about stepping into your heart, being more of a feeling in the present moment? That's going to be a good thing. So let's look at the situation. Let's look at what's coming in that may surprise you. And then let's look at how you might handle that or some suggestions around that. That's how I'm going to do the 3, 3, and 3 today. Some of you ask me about that. It shifts for me sometimes. So my normal spread. So let's see where we go here. Keep shuffling, Mary Jo. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. All right, gonna do something a little bit different here. Just go with it, man. Just go with it. What's underneath is the 8 of Cups, a situation that has been walked away from already, I think. 7 of Wands, the Lovers, the Page of Swords. I like this. The King of Swords. Wow, here's the change in the wind. Look at that. Wheel of Fortune. What is this? This keeps coming up. 5 of Swords and the Strength card. All right, Strength card, and I don't know why the underneath is speaking to me so loudly today, but it is. So there's an 8 here, and it ends with an 8. There's also the Strength card, which is an 8. Lots of 8s, and 8s are about putting in time and effort. They're about good communication, but they're also about doing the work that's in front of you, just like this chop wood and building blocks. So the 8 is walking away. Perhaps you've laid some kind of boundary with someone and they've run over top of it and you're like, okay, I'm out. But I feel like you might be misunderstanding this person or something like that. because the Lovers is here and the message is coming through loud and clear that maybe you're misunderstanding a situation, okay, with a boss or something like that. Like, I think I know what's going on, but boom, change in the wind. I don't really know what's going on. Being more present is going to help you. And like I said, I'm doing this reading on the 17th, which is the day of the Grand Cardinal Cross or Grand Cardinal Square. The North Node and South Node have moved into Aries at 29 degrees. We have Pluto in Capricorn at 29 degrees. And we have the new moon later tonight at 29 degrees. 29 degrees is an anaretic degree, which is a fated and destined degree. So something is fated and destined to happen. I almost feel like there's a sense of confusion or maybe fighting back against this a little bit. But what I want to say to you is you're in a good place. The Strength card and the Eight of Wands, if you're more present with this, just being present and being surprised by what's happening, I think you're going to be in a much better position to build something real. So if you could expect someone to break up with you, what if they were like, let's make the commitment deeper? If you expect, right, like you're expecting, or if you're expecting someone to make a commitment deeper and they say, we're breaking up. Either way, there's a good opportunity for you to be present in the moment and be in your power, okay? Be in your power so that you can be present with the conversation. Stop thinking about what has been. And this is a new place. Now we're changing the game. We're in a new situation. We're in a new moment in time. Don't muck it up or cloud it up with what you thought was happening or what you thought, like, that's almost not real. It might be something that you were afraid was going to happen or something you were hoping was going to happen. Either way. So let's see what's going on. Oof, wow. 10 of Swords, 10 of Cups, good grief. King of Wands. I'll talk you through this. Hermit, Queen of Swords, and the Fool. Page of Pentacles, Magician, Nine of Pentacles. Wow. It's like this. Okay, all right, I get it. So something that has already happened. 10 of Swords, the Hermit, and the Page of Pentacles. Somebody is seeing that they ended a relationship with you or they ended a situation prematurely. Now, this could be you. You could have thought, okay, this is going to be terrible. But you're learning from a situation from the past. Okay, I get it. In the past, when you've had these things of coming out of nowhere, I feel like you might have like kind of a low grade anxiety about everything being terrible all the time, so that you expect bad things to happen, even if something good is coming. Like you're feeling the intuition of something coming toward you, and you're just automatically assuming it's going to be bad. This can also be, so that's one thing. So you've got like plan B, C, D, like you've learned from this. I also feel like something you don't see coming is someone is going to tell you some news about an ending in their life that is going to open up some happiness with you. Okay, there's definitely some happiness with you. 10 of Cups, Queen of Swords, and the Magician. So you are manifesting because you've learned your lesson about this, or you are learning your lesson right now. You might feel like after this happens, you're like, okay, I thought my intuition was really good about this, but I was just expecting the other shoe to drop, or I was just expecting that someone was not going to give me what I wanted. I'm so used to not being happy. I'm used to not getting what I want. And I feel like you're getting what you want, whatever that is. I mean, 10 of Cups and then the King of Wands. King of Wands, Fool, and the Nine of Pentacles, right? I feel like somebody is single and free to come toward you. Somebody is a good partner. Somebody is a good candidate for the next stage to build with you, to build, building blocks and chop wood. It's like you don't have to really do anything, but change did need to happen. And I almost feel like whatever choice you made about like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to lay the right boundaries. I'm not going to be excited, don't get too high, don't get too low, Bill Belichick, right? Like, don't get too high, don't get too low. Like, there's a little bit of that. Something did end, but I feel like either A, it's good that it ends because it's bringing you some new lessons that will bring you toward the right person and the right person coming in. It's like stopped a way of thinking. Wednesday in my heart healing group, I'm going to start teaching lessons about changing your story. What is the story you tell yourself? Because that is the outline of your life. That's your expectation of things. And that is a baseline of manifestation. So if you're telling yourself nothing good ever happens for me, guess why that happens? Because you're telling yourself that story, and that is manifesting every bit as much. So you tell yourself all day long that nothing good ever happens for me. And then, okay, I'm sitting down to say my prayers and I'm going to be like, everything wonderful is happening. And universe is like, I'm sorry. All day long, you've been saying nothing good ever happens for you. And that's the baseline frequency you're manifesting from. Then you're correct. Nothing good ever happens for you. So this is much more about gaining wisdom and clarity. We're looking back to the past and saying, we're not going to live that life again, but we are going to use it for lessons, okay? We are going to use it as wisdom. And the feeling of waiting for the other shoe to drop means you haven't transmuted the feelings from situations in the past that have been toxic or that have been difficult or have been sad or have been not your choice or not your wanting or something like that. There's always a lesson in everything for all of us, and we are all responsible for the manifestations that show up in life. And I feel like that's the aha moment here of like, oh, wow, I just assume everything bad is going to happen to me. I just assume that the other shoe is going to drop, that when she says change, that means something bad. And I almost feel like this is an awakening. This is a moment in time when you're like, oh, wow, the universe is kind of showing me from me removing my ego, me removing me from what I think is going to happen. So I will say this to you, that when you do that, when you stop putting people on a pedestal, and it's not like, oh, everything's going to be terrible, they're awful, they're jerks, whatever. It's like not going down the opposite way, right? Like don't go down that road of like, oh, everything's miserable. But what you want to strive for is neutrality, okay? Neutrality, that energy of neutrality is a stronger place to come from when you're moving up the scale of your feelings, when you're trying to get to love, when you're trying to get to excitement, if you're in a state of neutrality, okay, read the book, Power versus Force, okay? Read that book, because this talks about the state of neutrality as an important place where we can start to build from building blocks. It is a place of don't get too high, don't get too low. And that's and I feel like that's the Queen of Swords, right? She has her hand out, so she's not, crusty or anything. She's not angry. She's like, I see the truth, and I'm holding out my hand for conversation, for the next topic, for the next exchange of views, for the next exchange of feelings, whatever it is. And that is going to be the thing that sets you free. So what you don't see coming is that if you're this Tower and this Ten of Swords, if you're feeling like any change is bad, I want you to examine why that is. That's a story you're telling yourself. That is a story you're telling yourself. That things can't get better from here. Even if things are going great, you're telling yourself, this is as good as it gets, okay? If that's your experience here. And I'm here to say, really? Because it has been my experience that every time I get to a new level, there's more, right? This is a universe of plenty, of expansion. It is not one finite pie. I feel like that is the quintessential energy that's going on in the world right now. It's almost like there's people who believe there's only one pie. And so it's us against them. It's the other. It's like, I got to fight for my piece of pie. But I feel like in the spiritual community, what we're recognizing And I hope other people eventually will do this too, who are maybe opening up to spirit, maybe haven't been sort of in this kind of work or in this kind of energy that we're expressing right now, that we see that the pie is endless. Make more pie. You don't need to fight over one pie. You can make more pie. You can ask for more pie. You can talk about experiences as a way of learning, but also as a way of experiencing the infiniteness of the universe. So if you're only looking backward into what has happened, right? There's like this thing of the what's the saying that goes, the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. And I think to some degree that has been true. But I feel like the more we step into being more light beings, seeing the infiniteness of the universe, I feel like that ceases to be true. Like at some point, we recognize that we have control over that behavior. And we go, oh, wait, I'm deciding to go in this direction, right? Lovers, Page of Swords. I'm deciding to go in this direction where there's infinite. I'm deciding not to allow my past behavior or my past experiences completely overrule any good stuff that's coming in. I'm making that choice. And if you've had an experience with a certain person and they've kind of opened up to a new day, then they're going to behave differently. They want something different now. They're going to behave differently. Their central personality may not change, but how they look at the world may change. And that changes everything. So this is a sense of like the Queen of Swords looking at the Fool going, I'm open to new responsibilities. I'm open to new experiences. I'm open to new vistas. I'm open to new ways of looking at myself. I'm open to new ways of being. There are infinite ways of being. Then we can manifest from a place of self-confidence, from a place of joy, from a place of neutrality. Because what can happen is we can more easily, it's almost like the Mason-Dixon line of feelings, we can more easily jump into the higher realms. You can jump into the lower realms, anger, frustration, resistance. You can do that. But in neutrality, you are opening up to the possibility. The Magician and the Nine of Pentacles are very neutral energies, but they're coming from a place of stability, self-confidence, open to the infinite, right? He's got a lemon skate on his head, open to the infinite. Will you open to the infinite? And let's see where we're going. So I'm going to continue on with this reading. If this is your story, let's keep going. Pathfinders, there's a link in the description box. Well, no, that's not true. The link is for those not Pathfinders, right? Pathfinders, we're just going to keep going. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.